So I'm having a chat with Tanita Tikaram. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good, yeah, not too bad. Thanks so much. So we've been playing a single of yours called Love Don't Come Around. Tell us a bit about the single, first of all.
So the song is a little bit of a little refresher. It's the kind of me going back to basics, and I can hear very much how much the Beatles influenced me. It's a kind of, I think it's a little bit like an early. I can hear the influence of early Beatles in the song, and I think this is one of the songs that, as a band, we really love playing because it just makes us feel like we're like a teenage band. So.
Yeah, nice, nice. And that's coming off your new album called Liar, which is out on the 10th of October. What can we expect to hear on the record?
Well, I think there's a really so I worked with Andy Monahan from Frightened Rabbit, which is a really great band, and I think he's really elevated my sound and kind of taken the acoustic elements that I work with, the violin, the cello, the accordion, and kind of given this indie influence and this darkness that comes from his musical background, and really it sounds very modern, I think, and thematically it is kind of a follow-up to Ancient Hearts, and deals with really this idea of how we belong. And I suppose it was inspired by political events, and I've kind of set my mental task writing this album to find my own personal language to the political landscape. So there's a lot in it. It's a very yeah, it's a very meaningful album, I hope.
Good, good. And the sound that you've made with the record, is it the sound you wanted, or is it kind of how it turned out as you were writing and recording it?
Well, when I first decided to work with Andy Monahan, he and I spent a couple of days together in Glasgow, and the first song we worked on together was This Perfect Friend, and he came up with this line, this string line, and I just thought, well, that's the sound I want. Yeah, I found it. So I kind of think it's the sound that you want, but you can never get. But I think I have got it on this album. So yeah.
Good. And I'm sure you wrote more than what made it onto this record. What happens to those now? Do you consider them again down the line, or is it a case of starting afresh when the time comes?
No, I have to start again. There's a couple of ideas I have, but one of the songs it just was too convoluted, and I can't, it just doesn't work. So no, I think I need to have a very new palette and a new, I start listening to things going, oh, that's really cool. What is that? How are they doing that? And it starts to make you want to write songs again. I'm really like that. I'm not the sort of person who writes all the time. I kind of get very inspired by other artists and other also literature, other things that are happening in the ether, other events that make me want to write. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'd like to talk about the writing process as well. So for you, how the tracks normally start off?
Well, I always used to be the kind of songwriter who wrote with the melody. So I would write a line and it would become really the song. It would be the key, I'd find a key phrase, and it was a musical phrase and a lyrical phrase, and that would open up the whole song to me. I think on this album, the writing process has been slightly different. I still have that way of writing, but there's also been songs where I've had the actual title in my head, songs like Fear and Chills, and I thought, that's how do you write a song around that theme? And Sweet Feather in the Storm, that was co-written with my drummer Mark, and he just shouted out when we were jamming, Sweet Feather in the Storm. And then I kind of had to find the story for that song. So yeah, it's been a really fun way of testing my own prejudices about what writing is, and learning other ways to write.
Yeah, and one of the things I've found with songwriters is the most difficult part is creating lyrics to the music and kind of combining the two. What's it like for you to combine the two different kind of worlds?
I find it very natural. I find that I think that the melody and the lyric are talking to each other. They're just telling you what to do when you get a good one. They're kind of right. I feel like they write themselves, and I'm really funny. I think when I hear a lyric that's not natural, it kind of irritates me. And even in other writers, I go, oh, that doesn't sound like a very natural lyric. That sounds like something that's been written away from the instrument. So, so yeah, I don't
Mm.
know. Yeah, I think they're
Uh,
together. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, fair enough. Everyone's different, of course. And you're here in the UK at the moment. You've just started a tour. You're doing some in stores at the moment. How was last
Yeah.
night? And are you ready for the rest?
Last night was awesome. I was just really, it was just, there's so much madness happening in the world at the moment, awfulness. And me and my cellist, Zozia Jagodinska, who unfortunately Helen has COVID, Helen O'Hara from Dexys. So Zozia has been stood in for her. But we were just talking, and she said, there's so much awful in the world that just having that community and that exchange with people, which is music, is so healing. And I'm gonna just be a hippie and say, yeah, at the moment, go out and do something that makes you feel better about the world and helps you to meet other people. And listen to art, go create art. It's just a way of creating a better world. I really believe that. So yeah, it was really actually very life affirming. It was lovely.
Mm, yeah, absolutely. And you've over the next 6 weeks, you've got both in-store dates and kind of the big proper shows. How do you cater your sets for both?
Yeah, and it's even going to be more multi-layered because I also have a different band for different shows. So bigger venues we have a bigger band, smaller venues we have a more intimate band. So and they have different set lists. So it's I keep saying to everybody, I'm just keeping you on your toes. But I think I'm going to be the one who has to keep on her toes because it is a totally different mindset for each performance. But thankfully, these are musicians I've worked with for quite a long time. So hopefully, we're going to just we're going to just rise to the occasion and be flexible and fluid
Mm,
and yeah. But I'm really excited. I don't know what I just feel like doing things like this at the moment is just really important and really but even important for my mental health. So yeah,
mm,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure. This takes you through until middle of November. You hoping to add any more dates this year, next year, and are you hoping to go
Next year,
outside of Europe as well?
next year hopefully, and hopefully festivals as well. So let's see. But yeah, but this is going to be good also to see how there's a couple of yeah, just to see how the music works live. I'm excited about that. That's because there's I play old material, but I'm also going to be playing new stuff. So I just want to see what how the audience reacts and it's going to be a vibe. It's
Mhm.
going to be good.
Good. Are you hoping to go outside of Europe as well?
Uh, well, I don't know. I'd love to tour Australia and New Zealand if anybody's got a magic wand of lovely concerts. I would love to visit those countries, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, good. You've been re writing and releasing music for kind of well over 30 years now. How have you and how has the music evolved since the start through until now?
Well, to be honest, when I started, I was so innocent. Not, I had basically no musical education apart from guitar club, which was like 30 kids in a room just
Hmm.
playing anything. So, I don't, I'd never played with other musicians. I'd never had any sense of what harmony was or bass part. I just wrote songs, and I suppose what's happened over the years is my education has been I've been educated about music in a different way, and I have become more sensitive to other things in music that when you start, it was impossible. I didn't even know. most of the songs on Ancient Heart are in the wrong keys because I didn't know that you could change a key. That's why everyone says, "Oh, she's got such a low voice." And I'm like, "No, I don't have such a low voice. They're all in very low keys." So um, that has been quite an education to realize. I remember I have a singing teacher now, and she said to me, "You know, you can change a key." Sorry. And I was like, "Oh, really? I thought it was written in stone." So, yeah, that's been a vibe.
But even though it was in your lower register, I guess Ancient Heart was kind of the one that kicked things off and
Yeah,
was most successful for you, especially
yeah,
with the
yeah.
tracks like Good Tradition and Twisted My Sobriety. When you were writing those kind of before anything kind of kicked off for you, did you realize that these were good songs and that they were gonna kind of be heard by a lot of people?
No, no, frankly, no. But then I must have thought something because I took a year off, and before going to university, and my mum said, "Okay, you don't have to go to university if you get a record deal." And of course, she just thought I wasn't going to get a record deal, so she's just saying it. But I did. So um, I must have thought somewhere they were worth listening to. But yeah,
And
don't
here
know.
you are, all those years later, still writing and releasing music. So
Exactly.
it paid
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, it paid off. Yeah, it paid off. Sorry. Yeah.
Good. Tanita, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Yeah, and thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the day.